You know, over the years, you've had some of the biggest names in sports either love you or hate you.
Right.
A lot of times, both in the same week.
Same day.
But, you know, let's talk about those relationships, man, because we mentioned AI. You know, Kobe was another person that you've had a great relationship with. You've told many stories about him calling you in the middle of the night, cursing you out, talking for hours. You know,
saying, Well, listen, I've always respected cats as real. Like, for example, a lot of people don't realize this, but in all my time covering the leagues outside of Iverson, the cats, I'm not talking about the Melo, LeBron era, all of that.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but back in the day, the cats that I was tight with, DC, Derek Coleman, Charles Oakley, Rod Strickland, cats like that. I mean, people that nobody questioned their authenticity.
Absolutely.
And, you know, DC, Rick Mahorn, cats like that. And their cardinal rule was be straight. Be straight. Be a real one. Don't be some phony-ass individual that come up in my face, be one way, and be two-faced behind my back. Do what you're going to do. Keep that same energy. And so a lot of times I was able to do that with them, and that's what they respected. And throughout the years, we've still maintained that relationship because I pride myself on doing that. It's like, listen, your personal business is your business. You know, we all know that when you in the media, you hear 1,000 stories, and it's not even so much that you have access to all the stories, but I'll be damned if you don't have access to some of them.
Right.
And I'm the type of person, like, you know, like, show me when I said something about it. Because they all know I don't do that.
Yeah.
You know, now you play like garbage, I can't help you. You know, that's in front of everybody. You in the police blotters, I can't help you. You see what I'm saying? You doing shit that everybody has access to. Then I got to call it like I see it. But when it come to your personal stuff, that's your story. And if nobody else know, I don't know. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna keep it moving because I want to sleep at night.
Yeah.
I want to know that I have a conscience. And if I'm that kind of cat that'll dime you out, that'll talk shit about you or whatever, and be two-faced and misrepresent myself, I can't sleep at night like that. That's not who I am. I'm the kind of person that I want you to know exactly where I stand with you and exactly the kind of man that I am. So as long as I maintain that level of consistency, it don't matter where we are, who we around, or whatever it is. I can come up to you, I can speak to you man to man, and I'm good with it. And that's the way that I've always been. When you perform on the court, that's at my mercy as a commentator, pundit, reporter. You can give me an explanation, and I'll make sure to quote you accurately and contextualize it appropriately. If your ass shot 2 for 20 and you shivered and choked in crunch time, that's what's going to get said. Now, we can give an explanation to it, but it's going to be said. And if you play lights out, I'm going to give you that too. But that's the game. The personal stuff, that's your business.
Now, you mentioned that, right? And a lot of times with athletes, and especially in the media, there's such a fine line you got to sort of, you know, dance on.
No, they don't. No, I don't have to dance.
I mean, some people
gotta get the fuck over it. They gotta fuck over it. See, that's the whole point.
Yeah.
I don't have to dance.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, I never forget one time AI came up to me years ago, and he broke out laughing at he was pissed off, and I was like, he's like, you could say this, you could say this, or you could say that, right? And I was like this. I said, damn, come on, AI. And actually, it was Jordan. Jordan and I had an argument one day. It was many, many years. It was over 20 years ago. And I looked at him and I was like this, 250,000. He was like, what? I said, 250,000. So what are you talking about? I said, you don't want me to be a reporter. You want me to be PR. You want me to do PR. You want me to be your publicist. Say what you want to say, $250,000.
That's the rate.
That was the rate at the time. I was like, come to me. I was honestly being facetious.
I'll do your PR
but what I'm
for you
saying, but
for
I'm
this
saying
price.
like, yo, I'm not here to be a publicist. It is what it is. And I wasn't talking. That was when he was the executive, you know, running Washington. Clearly, ain't nothing to say about his game. But I'm just saying the point is that it's that kind of stuff. AI would say stuff sometimes like that. I'm like, can I do my job? I saw you, bro. I know what you gonna do, but you know, you averaging 30. But damn, you shooting like 25% from the field the last 10 games. What you want me to do? Stuff like that. I would literally say that. And I literally walk into the locker room and be like this. You don't want to read the paper tomorrow. Why don't you just bypass the newspaper? Don't even bother. Because it ain't gonna be pleasant. And And folks would know. And, you know, cats would get upset about it. But I go like this. When you turn it around, watch what I write then. Okay? Now, if I don't have the same energy, it's cool.
How you balance that, though? Like the relationships of guys that you have with...
Because the challenge...
Criticize. I don't want to call it criticize, but they will call it... They will say criticize. Right?
But it was criticizing at times.
But like criticizing versus keeping the validity of a relationship.
Well, the first thing first. Before you do anything, you go up to them to establish the relationship. I'm here covering this league. I'm here covering this team. This is who I am, and this is how I'm going to be. It applies to you and everybody else. Like, for example, but it's also mobile in this respect. I covered Iverson when George Lynch, Tyrone Hill, Theo Ratliff, and then Dikembe Mutombo, Aaron McKee, L. Boogie, Larry Hughes, and these cats were his teammates. Well, I didn't judge George Lynch the way I judged AI. AI was trying to score 40. George Lynch was happy with 10 points, 10 rebounds, and good defense.
Right.
Aaron McKee would drop 18 one game for another. Dikembe Mutombo was living in fantasy land, God rest his wonderful soul, because he was like, Stephen A. Kareem, with a skyhook. I said, don't ever say that publicly. Don't ever say that publicly. That's one Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Don't do that to yourself. Stuff like that. But what I'm saying is your skill set, your job description, based on your definition of it, combined with the coaches and the GMs, determined how I judged you.
Right.
I didn't judge you based on what I thought you did. I judged you based on what you and the combination of those who pay you and judge you and coach you defined. So I'd go to everybody at the beginning of the season. This is the expectation, right? Are we good? We understand that? Here I come. I got 82 games, and if you make the playoffs, that too, and I'm going to judge you along the way. So they would say, you have cats that'll get upset. Oh, you had to write that shit for. That's the day. And I say to them, do you watch soap operas? I always use this line. I say, do you watch soap operas? Because I've been watching General Hospital. I got a recurring role on the soap opera.
Oh, we
I was watching General Hospital. That's right. I love it, bro. I love it, man. It's a lot of
fun. Shout out Brick, okay.
Yeah, right, Brick, the surveillance expert for the mob. That's right. That's me, right? So I'm sitting there, and I would watch these cats, and I'm going like, do you watch soap operas?
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, if you watching Young and the Restless, it's Victor Newman. If you watching General Hospital, it's Sonny Corinthos. I said, did you know they've been shot, they've been stabbed, they've been pushed down the stairs, they've been ran over by cars. I said, do you know they're going to live, right? They're the stars of the show. It don't stop you from telling the story.
Right.
Same principle. You covering sports. Why? Because you're asking people to pick up the newspaper every day, or a .com article every day, or listen to you on the radio every day, or do television every day. What type of show do I have? What type of work do I have as a journalist, a reporter, a radio host, or whatever? If I go like this, don't worry about it, they'll be fine next week. No.
Yeah.
It's
Not
now.
interesting. Yeah,
it's now, and you tell the story as the story is ongoing, because you have millions upon millions of people out there that are gravitating to the story that you're telling in the moment. They're living the moment with you.
Yeah.
If you look at Steph Curry and you go like this, man, please, he's going to shoot 40% from three. Well, you can't have that attitude when he got a game against the Lakers tonight, or the Rockets next week, or the Knicks a month from now, whatever. You got to tell a story as it's unfolding. That's the business. And I accepted that a long time ago, and that's what I've always told people. So I didn't have to dance on anything. I let them know, yo, this is me. This is how I'm going to cover the sport. This is how I'm going to cover the team. Look at my work and tell me when I'm inconsistent. I do it with everybody.
Was there any specific tension between y'all two, like when he had to be
in
his locker room one time? All right, so let's hear about that one time. What was that about?
Let me tell you something. Look, he got me good.
Okay.
I went on national television. It's rare. It's rare in the moment that I've done this, right? But he got me. It's the only argument we ever had, and it wasn't an argument because I had to shut the hell up because he was right. So something was going on. I forget what the story was with the Knicks, but he was in Brazil.
Yeah.
At the Olympics. And he's like, fuck you reporting that for? And I was like this, yo, man, I couldn't reach you. He said, what the hell you mean you couldn't reach me? I said, you were in Brazil at the Olympics. He said, that didn't stop you any other time. And I said, damn, he got me. Because it was true.
Yeah.
Because, usually when you out the country, particularly the Olympics time, you can't catch nobody in the whole bit. But he was absolutely right. There was no excuse because at least make sure he got a voicemail.
Yeah.
At least make sure that I showed him I tried to reach him. I did no such thing. I assumed he would be unreachable because he was in Brazil and he jumped in my ass and I couldn't say
on the left.
I couldn't say a word. I couldn't say a word. He had me dead to rights.
Yeah.
And I went on national television. I was like, I spoke to Carmelo and this is what he said. And I was like, he got me. Live on SportsCenter.
Well, Melo, what did you say? What exactly?
You got to think about the time period, though. It was a lot of shit going on. This is the Phil era.
This is all the BS.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's a lot of information that's coming out of the organization. Like, it's a lot of information that I don't even know about.
Right.
I'm over here. I'm catching it from what's going on over here. So I'm looking at to see who's saying what and how's it going down. So I catch it over there in Brazil and Rio, and I hit him. I have people, our family, we know each other. So, like, yo, we gotta get y'all on the phone, man. I said, man, call that nigga, man.
Yes, he did.
Call that nigga, man.
Yes, he did.
Man, that shit ain't true, man.
Exactly.
Here's how it went, man. And that's how. That was the only time, though, because honestly, I always let them do their thing. I never was about kind of being defensive or whatever you said, cool. I ain't got time to, it's cool. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing. I know what's happening in here. I know everything that's going on. But I ain't got to speak on it.
Right.
And that's how I carried it with the media. I never went back and forth with them. You said it, cool, thank you, man. I laughed with you. Hey, man, that shit was crazy you said the other day. Keep it moving, though. And that's it. So that's why now on this side of it, people are like, oh, shit, man, Melo doing that. He's talking. Because I kept all of that.
He never did.
Never said anything.